Hey everyone, welcome back to Switch Game List. I've been spending way too much time playing action games on my Switch lately, and I wanted to share some thoughts about the ones that really stuck with me. These aren't necessarily the best games, they're just the ones I found myself coming back to again and again. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. Metroid Prime Remastered was honestly a bit intimidating at first. I'd never played the original, and I wasn't sure if it would hold up. You're basically exploring this abandoned space station and weird alien planet as this bounty hunter named Samus. The thing that got me hooked was how everything connects together. You'll find these doors you can't open or ledges you can't reach, and hours later you'll get an ability that makes you go, oh wait, I know exactly where I can use this. The new controls took some getting used to, but now I can't imagine playing it any other way. Kirby and the Forgotten Land surprised me. I thought it would be just another cute platformer, but there's something weirdly unsettling about seeing Kirby walking through abandoned shopping malls and old theme parks. The whole swallowing objects thing sounds ridiculous on paper, and it kind of is. But it's actually really fun figuring out how to use a vending machine or a car to solve puzzles. My partner and I played through it together, and we had a blast just messing around with all the different transformations. Dead Cells? Man, this game kicked my butt for hours before everything clicked. It's one of those games where you die and start over from the beginning, but each run feels different because you get different weapons and abilities. I spent way too many late nights telling myself just one more try after dying to a boss for the 20th time. The combat feels so good that even when you're failing, you're having fun trying new combinations of weapons and seeing what works. Monster Hunter Rise is probably the most time I've ever spent learning a game's systems. There's this whole ritual to hunting. You pick your weapon, craft your items, eat a meal for buffs, and then track down these massive monsters. The first few hunts were honestly overwhelming with all the different mechanics to remember. But once it clicks, there's nothing quite like the feeling of taking down a huge monster after a 30-minute fight where you used every trick you learned. The new grappling hook thing, they call it a wire bug, makes you feel like Spider-Man crossed with a samurai. Metroid Dread really lives up to its name. You know those horror movie moments where you're hiding from something you can't fight? That's like half this game. These robots called Ami hunt you through certain areas and your only option is to run or hide. The first time one of them caught me, I actually jumped in my seat, but the game gradually gives you more tools to deal with them, and eventually you feel powerful enough to start pushing back. Pikmin 4 seems simple at first. You're just throwing these little plant guys at stuff, but there's this constant pressure of trying to manage your time and resources while keeping your Pikmin alive. I felt genuinely bad when I lost a bunch of them to a monster because I wasn't paying attention. The new dog companion makes things a bit easier than previous games, which some fans weren't happy about, but I found it made the whole experience more enjoyable. Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. Doom Eternal is exhausting in the best way possible. You basically can't stop moving or you'll die. The game forces you to constantly switch weapons and tactics. Like if you need health, you have to get up close for glory kills. If you need ammo, you need to chainsaw enemies. I had to take breaks because my hands would get tired from gripping the controller so hard. It's like playing high-speed chess while metal music blasts in your ears. Bayonetta 3 goes completely off the rails in a good way. The story is absolutely bonkers. Something about parallel universes and the end of all reality. But the real joy is in the combat. Once you get the timing down for dodging attacks and summoning demons, you feel like you're directing this crazy action movie. Though, I'll admit, I still button mash sometimes when things get hectic.
So, trust me, he means a lot to me too.
I literally have bigger fish to fry.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps is just beautiful, both in how it looks and plays. The movement feels so fluid once you get all your abilities. You can chain together jumps, dashes, and grapples to basically fly through levels. The story hit me harder than I expected too. There's this emotional weight to everything you do, even though there's not much dialogue. I actually got a bit teary-eyed at certain parts. Hades somehow made me enjoy failing over and over. Each time you die trying to escape the underworld, you get sent back to the beginning, but the conversations with characters change and evolve. I found myself looking forward to dying just to see what everyone would say about my latest attempt. It's also fun how you can completely change your playstyle each run depending on which god powers you find. Astral Chain took me a while to get into because the controls are pretty unique. You're basically controlling two characters at once, your police officer and this creature called a legion. It felt like trying to pat my head and rub my stomach at first, but once it clicked, I started pulling off these amazing combos where I'd wrap enemies up in the chain, connecting my characters while attacking from two directions. The cyberpunk city setting is cool too, even if the story gets a bit confusing. Pepper Grinder was a weird one that caught me by surprise. The whole game is built around this drilling mechanic that lets you burrow through soft materials. It sounds simple, but they keep finding new ways to use it, like building up momentum to launch yourself across gaps or drilling through enemies. It can get pretty challenging when you have to chain movements together perfectly, but it never feels unfair. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment. Let's chat about it. See you in the next one.